Hello, and welcome to You First. That's right. It is all about you, and you. I'm Shawanna Kennedy, and I'm excited to be with you today. Man, when I think about You First, I tell you, if this is your first time, welcome. And if you are joining me on a regular, thank you so much for choosing to hang out with me, because you know that this is a safe space that is all about things about you as it relates to self-care, mental well-being, your personal development, and empowerment. And what that is empowering you to make yourself a priority in your life, and it not be a temporary fix, but it is a part of your lifestyle. I share often how life showed up and showed out on me being a mother, a wife, a nurturer, doing all of those things, being a business owner, and then me neglecting myself to where I say, by choice or by force, my body needed attention. So much so, in agony and pain, not knowing what the cause was, I wound up being rushed to the hospital. And what that did while looking there, it was no longer about my husband, no longer about my children, about my friends or other family. It was all about me, and me staring me right in the face and saying it had to be about me. Because if I was no longer here, I could not continue to impact the people that are closest to me and the people that was yet to come. And so with this space, with this safe space that is all about you, that's right, you first, I want you to know that you can come here, you can get yourself something to drink, curl up, because we have guests that come. One that is waiting even in the wings today. This young lady is not just a survivor, she is a thriver. This young lady, when I tell you what the things that she's going to share with us about how life showed up, but how God is greater, and she's thriving beyond the things that has happened in her life, right? They happened not just to her, but they happened for her to even make her cause and her passion that much more the greater. I am speaking none other than about Lesley Hudson. This young lady, she has her master's degree in industry organizational psychology. She is a continual learner right now. I believe she's in school for something else. She's all things. She's also a published author. She has a nonprofit and she's going to get more into that as well. But I'm excited. So no longer, without further ado, I would like to present to some and introduce to others, Miss Lesley Hudson. Welcome.
Welcome. Thank you so much for having me, Shawanna.
I'm excited. So thank you so much for being here and for just choosing and pausing for the cause to stop by You First, because it's all about you. So just tell us hello and tell us a little bit about yourself. Yeah.
I'm Lesley Hudson. I am a thriver, like she said. I'm all about life and growth, right? I'm all about connecting with other people and helping as much as I can. That's who I am.
You see, she's being real humble right now. She's being a little bit humble. She's doing some humble stuff going on over here. Lesley is no stranger to being where she's needed and needed most. Most of her friends, she is affection. She's that person. She is, let you see behind her, they're butterflies for a reason. And she's going to tell us her little butterfly story. But before we get into it, I need to go right to it, because here we want you to be able to share what is on your heart and to give us your You First story. Lord, what is that You First story? What is part of the why? What happened significantly in your life that said it had to be about me?
I would say the most significant thing where I decided that, you know what, it's all about me right now, is when I was diagnosed with breast cancer in 2006. Mm-hmm. Now, breast cancer wasn't in my family. I was diagnosed with breast cancer, and the reason I knew I had cancer or how it was diagnosed was I'm driving home, I'm coming home, I'm taking that bra off. And ladies, you know how that is. You want to get home and take your bra off. This particular day, I had bra, right? And I remember when I took the bra off, I saw little specks in the bra. And being in the medical field and working in the lab previously, I knew that this was not normal. There's some discharge coming from my nipple. I called my doctor. I wasn't of age to have a mammogram, which is 40 years of age, right? I wasn't 40, I was 39 years old. I called them, they said, okay, we need you to come in and get a mammogram. I did the mammogram. I was in there for a very long time. So I'm already thinking, what's up, right? Then they said, we need to do an ultrasound. They do an ultrasound. Next thing I know, they are preparing me to come back in days later to get a biopsy, which then ended up being you have breast cancer. So that's my, when I think about putting me first, it's like you hear these stories of things people go through traumatically in their lives, and you're like a deer in the headlights. But at that moment, when you make a decision that I want to live, I'm here for a reason, for a purpose, and your whole life changes at that moment. It does.
Love that. And I'm so grateful that you choosing to be here with us to even share one of the most toughest and tumultuous times in your life. But you're known for being a thriver and celebrating life, and often in having conversations with you because we go way back, and listening to your story, it's one that is a beautiful story. And so let's lean in, because that became, I know, a part of your why. And I want you to just tell, because you see all those beautiful butterflies behind you, I want to hear your butterfly story.
The
Yeah.
butterfly story. Okay. My son was the youngest one. I have two sons, right? They're 10 years apart. The youngest one was playing football. And at this moment, I remember previously praying to God, like, I want to help. What can I do? Because I'm going to get through this. I'm already going through this journey of being diagnosed and going through having the surgery and all those things, right? How can I inspire other people? But during the time when I was diagnosed and I was at home after having surgery, I began to write poetry, right? And I remember one day, I'm like, what can I do? And I was, trying to come up with a name or a theme or something that I could do. Well, at my son's football game, I remember it was a beautiful sunny day, and this butterfly was just flying around, right? And I just lifted up my hand, and the butterfly landed in my right hand, which is my right in hand. And at that moment, I began to say, you know what? Thank you, God. It's going to be going through, and after they've been diagnosed, because a lot of times when we're diagnosed with breast cancer, other people don't know exactly what to say. The husband, the people on the job, or the children, or whoever don't know what to say. So I have an inspirational card line that speaks to that person as they're going through their journey. Butterfly notes.
Love that. And see, one of the things that Lesley did not say is that she also is an amazing poet. She is requested all over the globe to come in and to speak and to give us a little bit of poetry. Now, we talked prior to even today, and we were talking about a roller coaster. And I know through all of this stuff, all of this juiciness, I need for you to talk to us. Look, talk to us. They listening in. They listening in, because right now it could be someone that you know. It could even be you, that we know that look, 1 month out of 12 months that the world really pay attention to things as it relates to what they say, the big C word. Or you might have lost someone, or someone that has gone through that. But you're looking at a survivor. This is a young lady that took that, looked it in the face, and did what was necessary to fight the courageous fight. And from it, some of her greatest pieces have been born out of that. Let's talk about that roller coaster. What was that like for you?
I would say that the roller coaster for me, it wasn't so much about being diagnosed with cancer. For me, I believe that, we go through things and it's a blessing always in the lesson, right? But when you are in certain relationships where you feel like, and especially when you've gone through something as traumatic as cancer, you look at life totally different. You know what I mean? And there's no way that I'm going to allow, after I've already won that fight, somebody else to be beating me. Not physically, but I'm saying emotionally, verbally, right? That you begin to pay a lot of attention to the stresses around you, whether it be family, people, whatever, the job, whatever it is. That stress, I know for a fact, can take you away from here, right? 9 months after having a surgery, I remember having the green light, like going to my surgeon for that last appointment. I was leaving there. He said, "You good to go. You don't have to come back to see me for another year." I remember that specifically because I'm driving home and all of a sudden I couldn't I couldn't wait to get home. It's like this bra is so tight. What the heck is going on, right? So when I get home and I take my clothes off and I take my bra off, I'm looking at my reconstructed breast and it's swelling. It's red. It's hot to touch. I'm calling my mom, who's a nurse, and she's like, "You need to call your doctor." I called a doctor. They were like, "That's odd. You were just here." And they was like, "You need to come back. Come to the emergency room."
Mm.
I remember going, you ever been in a situation where you feel like you're really moving in slow motion, like you couldn't get to the doctor fast enough. So by the
Yeah.
time we get to the emergency room, I couldn't get out of the car. I could not walk. And I was literally in Piedmont, downtown Atlanta, for a whole week fighting for my life. They couldn't figure it out because they was like, "Wait a minute, this woman had surgery not 9 days ago, but 9 months ago." When you think about that, right? 9 months ago, she was good. She's good. And she's now having this problem fighting. At that moment, it was all the stress that was going on around me. It was a toxic environment that I was in, right?
Mm.
And that's the roller coaster ride, the up and down. So up and down, high, then low. Sometimes there's a sudden drop off and the pace is steady, even slow. Not the type of excitement you're used to. You questioned why you even got on, thinking you could handle it, not expecting the loops ahead weren't going to be fun. You want to get off the ride, you say, because you're not enjoying it. As it creeps with more excitement, you wish you were standing looking from the outside. Your heart beats so fast when the loop catches you off guard. There's another sudden loop. But why does it keep surprising you when the ride is in your yard? You made the choice to get on, so excited like you were at Disney. It was fun for a while, but later you cried like it was nobody's business. It began to rain while you were on the ride. The forecast didn't predict this type of weather. You thought it was going to be sunny with blue skies. The ride finally stops. The controller finally hears you. As you're beginning to step off the ride, the controller is asking, "What did I do?" You're smiling inside because you're standing on solid ground, knowing that in the days to come, you will be looking up and not down. The next time you decide to take a ride, find out as much as you can. Roller coasters are not fun when you are the one experiencing the dramatic loops again and again and again. So I made a decision to, I'm not going through this unnecessary stress in my life with anyone because the stress will take you out. An example. I went through it. I was in the hospital for a week with all these specialists coming in trying to figure out what is going on with her. And it was the stress. It was a toxic environment that I was in. Yeah.
It's important that we be mindful of our environment. It's important that, and those things are things that can be a cancer within itself, right? Maybe not
Mm,
partially eating up your inside, but however, comma, eating up your insides. And so that's why in this space, when I think about you, it is really taking a look. And it's not just once a year, when people then say, I'm about to create a new resolution or look at the one that I said. No, we are supposed to periodically, often take a look at what's going on around us and see what no longer is working for us. Because a lot of it is, sometimes, and there's some people that could be watching, could be looking and listening, that there's some things that sometimes you didn't ask for it. Life is what it is, and life will show up. But we get a choice. We honestly get a choice. And listening at you, Lesley, and thinking about that, you made one of the best decisions of your life, besides when your body was alerting you that something was going on, but your body was alerting you that something was going on, and it was related to being in a toxic environment that on its own, it was basically destroying you. It was killing you. It was eating you alive and making one of those the toughest decisions that I know, that I personally know, individuals that have had to make that decision and remove themselves for themselves and for the people who really need them and love them. Yeah, I say you need you. You need you. And so I appreciate you being strong enough. I know they talk about the strong Black woman, but you choosing to be a strong Black woman, even in the face of that, to make the necessary adjustment in your life for your betterment, for the greatness, for the betterment of your health. Yeah. So
Absolutely.
I applaud you. And this is the
Absolutely.
snaps, but that's the snaps for that poem that she just threw on us real quick. That's the snaps for that poem she just threw on us real quick. Uh, Man, but when I think about a lot of the stuff that you've done, and when you think about what you've been through, how has that been able to help propel you to some of the things you get to do today?
I'm a fighter. I'm a warrior. And anything I can do to inspire others, to be healthy, be well, emotionally well, paying attention to your body, what we put in our body, what we do to our bodies, what we listen to, what we say, all incorporates of who we are. And it starts right here. I'm wearing this heart today because the butterflies are my thing. But more and more and more and more and more and more and more as I am this lifelong learner, like you said, and I'm in school right now, but I'm reading more about the heart. And Dr. Anita Phillips, I've seen her several times, at TD Jakes Leadership Summit or, all of those things. And she was probably one of the first people that I heard speak about the heart. But being in school and reading more so about how important the heart is, and it is the beginning of who we are, our character, our communication, and everything. It all stems right here from the heart. So it's precious. You know what I mean? Because life is in right here in his heart. So what we have going on right here emotionally and up here, yeah, that's
Yeah.
very important to really be in control of that. And I believe that, as I was speaking about that journey of the roller coaster ride and making the decision of being, this is me first. I want to live. I've gone through cancer. 9 months later, I'm fighting for my life. A decision had to happen. And I started to think about, other women who may be diagnosed with breast cancer. A, they may be alone. B, they may be in a toxic environment like I was. I remember when I was going through treatment, not treatment, but I was going through surgery. And this lady told me that there was a patient, another woman that was right next to me. We were roomed side by side. And she didn't make it, not because of complications of breast cancer. It was due to having a husband who was degrading her because she had one breast removed, right? So you imagine like you said, another cancer infiltrating your brain and telling you you're not beautiful anymore. You're not a woman that I want anymore because you have one breast. These breasts don't make us. They do not, right? This person is a human being. So how degrading is that to go through what you've gone through and having someone, say those toxic things, you know, toxic things to you. So as I was going through that and listening and knowing my own story, my own journey, and meeting another young lady who's still special to me today, inspired me to create my best friend's house. Is in the new stages right now, but my thought is, you go to your girlfriend's house to chill, but you come to my best friend house to heal. It will be a healing place for women so that when they're getting ready to have surgery, I want to be there coaching them, helping them, getting their mind right, praying with them before they go into surgery and letting them know that you have a person, your sister, your best friend is going to be here waiting for you when you get out of surgery, and bringing them into a safe space and finding out what is it that you want to do. And more importantly, what is inside of you that God wants you to do, and coach them through that. So giving them that place to heal without being in a toxic environment. So when they get ready to leave in that journey, that they're going to be another breast friend, this life thriver out there helping other women. So that is my goal. That is my passion.
I love it. Did you hear that? My breast friend. Wow. Ladies, I don't know if that did anything or meant anything to you, but it definitely did me, because when we think about it, because we do, everybody needs somebody. Everybody needs somebody. And to know, like she said, because even for some people that have gone through it, they may have to go through it being away from home, and not even having someone that could take time off their job to be there while they go through those initial stages of transitioning from the facility to a rehab or someplace where you feel like someone is there with you. And so I am so grateful that God has that on your heart. So I'm going to make sure that you guys have all of Lesley's information, and so that way, if you want to give towards the fund, towards her house, right, towards her best friend's house, I want to make sure that you have access to her, so that we can help bring that to fruition. And I'm excited about your nonprofit and the things that you're doing on the back end while you work towards, the fundings and things to see that be a reality. And this conversation, I know it's heavy, because everybody, if you think about it, everybody knows, if it's not something personal for you, you have a family member or a friend, someone that this is something that touches across the world. And it is something that needs to constantly be talked about, and not just what that does as a diagnose, but how she said, talking about even other traumas and other stressors that can be just as hard and a strain on our mind and even on our body. There are certain things as it relates to stress and trauma that could be just as detrimental. So I want you to make sure that you are doing what you need to do for you and making it a priority. We already know, I say it often, it's more than manicures and pedicures and getting your hair done. All of those things are needed. Yes, they are necessary. And I'm not saying ladies and men don't take care of your family, don't take care of your children, but you have got to carve out time for you. The same way you make appointments for everything else, you need to make appointments for you. What is feeding your mind? What is feeding your body? What is feeding your soul? And that, at the end of the day, we are a gift and we forget it. And it's like you really have to lean in and say, what am I not doing for myself that I need right now? And you need to be doing it. If you need to put yourself on the calendar, put yourself on an appointment, put yourself once at the end of the quarter, the same way you manage your household, manage your bills. What does that look like with managing you and making sure that things are still in alignment before you so you can course correct in the middle? That's part of that, being able to course correct in the middle of it all. So I'm excited. I know that y'all see she's already been dropping poems and making us feel all warm and fuzzy. Lesley, she is known for one of hers, and I know she talk often. So I'm going to just want you to talk just a little bit about what does worthy mean for you. And I think she might, because I made a special request. So I don't know if she did us a you first something. I don't know. She's going to talk about a little bit about you first, but just talk a little about worthy before we get out of here, because I want them to know and to hear from the heart of you and what that is. Yeah.
I know for a fact that I'm still learning and growing. I think I will forever be learning and growing, right? But there was a time that I definitely did not know my worth. And thus the decisions that I made along the way in this life. Like I said earlier, we go through life, we be life in, but we really need to be paying attention to the blessings and all these lessons and all the traumas and everything that we're going through. Because at the end of the day, if I can't breathe, if I can't be free to do me, I can't do you, pretty much. Because what does that mean? That to me, that means being my authentically true self, and whatever that looks like, right? If I can't be free to be me, I can't do you. And if you can't be free to do you either, I think that if we get 2 people, 3 people, 4 people, 5 people, all these people coming together, and they really truly know three things: know who you are, know whose you are, and know what you want, the world would be a better place. And, communicate from this heart. Start here from this heart. And it's all up, it is about you. So you got to be your own cheerleader. And Shawanna, one of the things that we didn't talk about, one of the things that I do for me, I like to get massages. I do. So one of the things that I'm going to carve out for me, and I'm trying to get them as often as I can, is to get a massage. But Worthy is my signature poem. And I believe that, and I know it's not even a belief, I know that I'm a prophetic poet and that God really just downloads into me, into my soul. Where it's at a point where you just write and write and write, and the pen never lifts off the paper because it is just downloading just like that. Going through life, and I'm the only child, and going through some other things that we're not going to talk about on this show. That would be for the next show. I have my own Kirk Franklin story, by the way. Anyway, you know, going through that and growing up and really not knowing your worth. And like I said, thus the making the decisions, even with everyone around you just coming at you, you should be doing this and you should be doing that and all these things. God downloaded this piece for me, and it's titled Worthy. I rise, I rise, I rise. I rise each morning with thanksgiving deep down in my soul. My heart pumps that new blood, that darkness is so far gone. The picture in my frame is filled with rainbow colored butterflies that continue to dance in the rain. My mouth is full of thirst, not knowing what the next minute or the next hour may hold, but knowing that in this second, I know who I am. I know whose I am. I know my worth. Just like a child so excited at Christmas can't wait to step out and unwrap all the unlimited possibilities. And ooh, look at all those opportunities that have been so delicately selected and placed right before me. No longer am I covered by a sheet, but I'm swaddled with love and joy and harmony and peace and protection from my comforter. I stand. I stand at 5'5", not sure what I'm going to do with this hair of mine. Brown eyes, mocha chocolate skin with the most irresistible spirit within, with an athletic physique but sexy, pretty, witty, wise, powerful, confident, with an MS degree, Christian liberal, and my salary doesn't matter because I am an African American woman with a multi-million-dollar potential from Mississippi, a queen from my ancestors, Harriet Sojourner and Nefertiti, a poet that speaks life like Maya and Nika Giovanni, a mother of two, a sister to no one except for each and every one of you, and a bride of the most high bridegroom, a sweet magnolia, a succulent peach that came from a seed that used to bleed negativity and jealousy and possibly wish that the fruit never fell from the tree, but I refuse. I refuse to get caught up in such a so-called stronghold of a generational curse because I know my worth. Although the air I breathe is sometimes filled with sadness and contaminated with the woulda, coulda, would haves, and the I don't know why they don't like me's, and girl, she ain't raised them boys like she's supposed to, but can you help me, please? Roll down my windows. I'm suffocating and I can't breathe, and I gotta have it. I need it. I yearn for it. It's a necessity. I need the air that's love. I need the air that's positive. I need the air that's encouraging. But I still sing because I'm happy. And I dance because I'm free. And I celebrate this life because he gave it to me. And he gave it to you, and he gave it to you, and he gave it to you. And what do? We get so consumed with the two, with this new thing called reality. But often it's filled with so much pain and negativity. And tell me it's not so. Tell me it's not so that you one of those with this little bit of thing called unforgiveness, but it fills up your entire soul from situations and circumstances that are so doggone old that you can't even live and you can't even grow because you have never yet made a decision to let it go. But our girl Lauren said it best. How you gonna live why are you gonna win when you ain't right within? How are you gonna win when you're not right within? You have to know that you're an eagle. And eagles may fly valleys low, but they always soar to the mountaintop because they have the most magnificent gift that's oh so keen. They still see everything underneath, but it's not until you release It's not until you step out of that nest and leave all that mess that you can truly then begin to breathe and exhale and defecate all the toxins that never belong inside of you and me, because you are worthy. I am worthy.
Woo! Y'all better be snapping it up, snapping it up. Snap, 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 snap. Oh my God, we love you, we love you, we love you. We thank you so much, Lesley, look, the poet Hudson. Oh my God, you'll be able to find out all her information on our website so that you can stay in touch with Lesley. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'll be right with you in a moment. All right, Lesley,
You.
don't go nowhere. Don't go nowhere. Don't go nowhere. Thank you so much for joining me, for this episode of You First. It is important that we watch the things that we allow to eat away at us. Sometimes there are things that you have no control over, but you do have control over what you do about them once it happens. And I want you to do the things that are needed and necessary for you. We're not making any excuses. We make the necessary adjustment, right? Because now is the time for you to put you first. Again, I'm Shawanna Kennedy. Make sure you're following me on all platforms. Stay connected. There's so many more things that are to come, and I appreciate you. But I'll see you guys again on our next episode. Bye for now. This episode is brought to you by Kennedy Media, your ultimate partner in content creation, video recording, and digital marketing. Be seen, be heard, and increase visibility in your business. Contact us today at KennedyMediaLLC.com, KennedyMediaLLC.com, and unlock your brand's full potential.